And now she's going to win again, and it sucks.
Maine's Democratic Party now has a little over 2 weeks to pick a new nominee. There's no roadmap for that process, but at least 5 would-be candidates have already raised their hands.
Flatner continues to deny recent sex assault allegations leveled against him. Calls for an independent investigation following the ICE-involved shooting death of an undocumented immigrant in Houston. His family says he was not trying to ram officers with his vehicle, as ICE contends. Her most famous song has 1 billion streams, and the video has been watched 1 billion times on YouTube.
Upon a time I was falling in love, now I'm only falling apart.
Solar Eclipse of the Heart has been played countless times during solar eclipses. Bonnie Tyler has passed away at the age of 75. You're listening to ABC News.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com.
News and weather brought to you this hour by Flora Animal Hospital, where we treat your pets like our own. Visit our website, floraanimalhospital.com.
The victims identified. A 20% chance for afternoon storms with a high at 93. Then a 30% chance tonight with a low at 75. Sunny at 94 Friday. Rain chances are back Saturday afternoon and in a big way Sunday at 80%. With news on 103.9 WIAB. I'm Chris Davis. 3 people who died in a wreck in Trussville, Alabama, Wednesday morning were from Mississippi. The Jefferson County, Alabama Coroner's Office has ID'd them as 5-year-old Naylana Butler and her parents, 32-year-old Dominique Mariona Butler and Dequarius Marca Butler, all from Liberty. The wreck was on I-59 about 7:30 a.m. 40 years for Darius Jordan and the January 2025 killing of 49-year-old Timothy Forrest, which happened at a house on Wingfield Circle during a family fight. Jordan was convicted of second-degree murder, with it coming out in court documents that the shooting was over how Forrest talked to Jordan's niece. Police don't know what it was yet that led to a killing in Yazoo City. The victim has been ID'd by Yazoo City Police Chief Jake Sheriff as 26-year-old Taji Nellums. Nellums was shot in the stomach and the body found in a ditch on 1st Street about 12:30 Wednesday morning. Police have not announced any arrests. If you live in Utica or get your water from Utica's water system, you are under a boil water notice until further notice. That is because of a line break and possible contaminants. Gas has gone back up a few cents, possibly on the news of more military action against Iran and the ceasefire being off. The state average now $3.39, says Gas Buddy. The least expensive gas in the metro is at one station in Pearl that's selling it for $3.07. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WIAB. I'm Chris Davis.
Why don't you mind your own business?
Mind my own business? What's that supposed to mean?
No, I was just thinking about all the news of tax changes, insurance changes, regulations that are being passed down to business owners. I don't have time to keep growing and to keep up with payroll regulations.
I know. It seems like all I do is handle employee-related problems.
You know, I hear People Lease can help.
How can they help?
People Lease can handle our payroll, taxes, employee benefits, and workers' compensation. They even offer an affordable and customizable 401k program and a 24/7 online human resources support center for all my HR needs.
Think of all the time we'll save. I'll be busy growing my business and letting People Lease take care of the rest.
Sounds like a good business plan with People Lease.
Let People Lease mind your business so you can mind your own business. Call now. 601-987-3025. That's 601-987-3025. Or visit freepayrollquotes.com for your free quote.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Chip Matthews Show, where politics meets the South. So grab your sweet tea, find a comfortable spot to sit back, and let's embark on this journey together. Chip away, jump away.
And good, my Thursday morning. It is the Chip Matthews Show, heard all around the world, and even over there in that Ayatollah's country over there, where they had his funeral, and they're over there showing off a few more of our explosive fireworks in that area. Good morning, J.C. Dunn, Lloyd Travis, Shane Easley, Jeff Thomas. Please explain what the 3 and will be more corruption in Jackson. Yeah. yeah. There's more coming down the pipe that allegedly from the FBI and from the Chokeway stuff and from the Jody Owens. You know, when you can get somebody step on their toe and get them to start talking, and they say, well, we can work a deal. You know, you didn't work a deal after 2 years to get off easy. You worked a deal because you started talking. You started talking. The 3 of them are talking. And, you know, Angelique Lee was already in there, so there may be four talking. But, you know, you got to know that it's all coming to an end. And then I saw in the news, and I was so proud because I saw that disturbing video from Goodman the other day, and I tagged every politician I knew. I tagged every TV station I knew. I tagged every highway patrol person I knew. I tagged everybody I knew, including the National Guard, Trump, and I tagged Benny Thompson. It's his district. But his district looks like that all over. You know, that's just a reality. And for years, the Highway 51 corridor has been neglected. And that neglect started back about 1990 to 2000. That's when we just gave up. If it's on 51, well, we'll let it go. And I mean, Goodman is the home of Holmes Junior College. There's a lot going on there. And for I don't understand why isn't there an accountability at the I would think you needed to tell every town that has a town. If you're a town, you have a mayor, you have to, I think that you should have to report to the governor's office or to the state in some form of fashion of how many police you have, what's going on, keep up. We need to know you have law enforcement. But to sit there in a town and that mayor comes on, we ain't got any police. No police. We have no one. We don't need no stinking badges. And you let a town and you say, and then you hear that horrible news where, well, we have 90 homes and only 30 of them pay taxes. Okay. That don't make no sense. Well, what that means is they're 503Cs and this, that, and the other, because all those don't pay taxes. You know, that's the same thing happening in Jackson. And when people don't pay taxes, there's no tax base to protect the people. And then when everybody's living there for free in this socialist society, and if the government doesn't provide food, and they don't provide health care, and then they don't provide law enforcement, you get what you got. You get Jackson, Mississippi. You know, look at all this. Good morning, Ricky Gray. I mean, we seem shocked. And I was shocked when I saw the video, but I would have never, you know, I think of Pickens. I go up 51. Pickens was a great city at one time, had its own car dealership, this, that, and the other. It had, you know, grocery store. All these places, when you go up the Delta through there, a lot of these towns don't even have grocery stores anymore. And then, and much less do they have things like pharmacist. And then if they do have a pharmacist right now, they're doing everything they can to make that go away, because the big medical companies or pharmaceutical companies want you to order online. You don't need a doctor. Order online. We can do telehealth. We don't need all that other stuff. Y'all, sometimes they got to put your hands on you. A doctor needs to look at you. These self-diagnosis that occurs, and we all do it, because every time you see a new drug on TV, you analyze that drug and you say, "Oh, that's what. Oh, pain in my shoulder. That's what I got. What? Dry tongue. Oh, that's what I got." Yeah, I mean, it's amazing every time you hear a commercial for a pharmaceutical company. You have whatever they have. They're good at putting everything in there, and then they're also good at telling you everything in there that's going to kill you, which it seems like they leave nothing out on both sides. And then, of course, that's where the lawyers can have work. And then, of course, the lawyers, we're slowly, I think the world is waking up to lawyers, because people are realizing more and more that a lawyer, and nothing against lawyers, they're all for you or they're all against you. But it's all depending on the flow of your financial dollars when you walk in. And it's funny when you hire a lawyer, the first day he's all gun-ho, this, that, and the other, and you get him that money and everything's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. Then all of a sudden you're going, he hadn't done nothing for a while. And it's because it's just like these people in the government. And that's what you need to look at, because we got lawyers in the government. Once you get a pile, once you get the money, you don't really care about doing the results. That's the same people. That's like when you mow your yard. If a guy mows your yard and you pay him before he gets started, there's a lot of people that will do a half but job, we'll say. They won't do the correct job. They do a slacker job on your yard. Well, that's kind of what goes on when you have all these lawyers. Everybody, and in the hot weather, everybody slacks. Everybody slacks in the hot weather. There's nobody that doesn't slack. Oh, wait, there is one person that doesn't slack in the hot weather. The devil. The devil never slacks in the hot weather. He looks forward to it because he knows that you will let your guard down. You will let things occur that you don't expect. You will do everything that you shouldn't do when it's hot. It'll keep you from doing all the right things. You'll go, I'll have to get to that later. I'll do better next month. Never mind. I need to drink more water. Everybody needs to drink more water. Speaking of water out at the reservoir, my water bill shot up from $300 or $400 a month to $1,600. Y'all, we've been busy. We haven't been that busy. So welcome to the water woes of the water world. And we got to figure out what's going on there. They say we have a leak, but I can't find it. But anyway, the world has just gotten to where it's just so difficult for you to accomplish anything. Last plumber I called that came out and did a 20-minute job, charged me $695 for showing up and putting a 4 feet of pipe in. 4 feet. 4 feet. Didn't even use the iron pipe going back. Use flex. Just there you go. That's your problem. You got a leak right here. I'm out of here. $695. I can't believe that when you think about it. But everything has gotten so expensive. Everybody wants money. Everybody wants all the money they can get. And they don't want to do anything for it. And it's just, it's crazy. And when you think of all this money coming in, this AI money, this data center money coming, think about it for just a second, y'all. It's not hundreds of millions like what we've dealt with in the past. It's billions, 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 billions. And then you look at places like Goodman with no police and this, that, and the other, and the economic development that we're going for. I mean, there's a college right there. If a data center was a good idea, hey, that's a good place for one right there at a junior college in a major, in what used to be a great city. That would have been a great place to put it. But that isn't the way it works out. It works out to where the politicians in the counties that are more prosperous are taking all that money on their side because, hell, they own all the land there. They're going to make money when people buy this land and that land. It's sort of like the development of the entertainment district that Ridgeland's doing right there off the interstate, where the natural entertainment district development should be the reservoir. That's the natural one, not one coming off the interstate right there. I mean, it just would be natural to do one where you said you were going to do one years ago, but you work real hard at killing everything over there. It doesn't make sense. And then, of course, you still need to clean up County Line Road to Metro Center. You know, all that is death and destruction, and rental houses, rental apartments going downhill. We got to do something. We got to do more. We just don't look like we do an economic plan that makes sense. You don't, I'm a businessman. So when I think about things like what would work, where do we have infrastructure? Where do we have roads? Where do we have parking? Where do we have places to build more parks? Where would people want to go? It isn't a field out on the interstate that used to be where you grew cows. It would be the reservoir where everybody used to go and hang out until you tore down all the entertainment that was out there. And now that stuff is coming back, you should be out there now. But no, everybody's got a jockey for position on who's going to own what. So they take a piece of land somebody else owns so that they can make some money and give it to their buddies. I mean, that's what I see. I may be wrong. Every time something gets done around the interstate or on the line, there's always a lawsuit. Why is there always a lawsuit every time somebody wants to do it? Because everybody's greedy and wants some money. Everybody. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show. Why is there always a lawsuit every time somebody wants to do it? Because everybody's greedy and wants some money. Everybody.
103.9 WYAB.
Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is leveling up. A whole new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is now open at the Reservoir at Beethoven's Boardwalk in Ridgeland, right next door to Cock of the Walk. And the new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris will have all of your old favorites too, like the Acme Dynamite Balls and Garlic Knots, and the best specialty pizzas ever, like the Pig, the Sergeant Pepperoni, the Serpent Turf, and lots more. Come to the all-new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris location on the Res in Ridgeland, next door to Cock of the Walk.
The Tri-County Academy Rebels' success in the classroom and on the athletic stage begins with the Tri-County Academy Booster Club. Join the team and be a Rebel by getting involved and volunteering as a booster. Your involvement is the generator for fundraisers, facility upgrades, equipment, uniforms, and all other needs. Tri-County Athletics thrives in part because of our TCA boosters. Join today by calling the TCA main office at 601-879-8517 and help the Rebels continue the championship tradition.
When it comes to protecting what matters most, experience counts. And the Rusty Healy Agency has been serving Madison and the rest of the Jackson Metro for over 35 years. Local agent Landon Thompson is keeping that trusted tradition going strong. As a local independent agent, he's not locked into one provider. The Rusty Healy Agency can shop the top insurance companies to find the best fit for you. And everyone knows that the Rusty Healy Agency and Landon Thompson offer top quality local customer service. Contact Landon today at 601-856-3681.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store. LS Tractor understands your passion for the land, and just like you, LS Tractor is committed to excellence and superior products. LS Tractor comes with a long list of standard features that are unmatched by other brands and backed with the LS commitment to provide exceptional customer service and satisfaction. You get a lot more for your money with the LS Tractor. Come to the Tractor Store in Richland to experience the LS difference. The Tractor Store in Richland.
Have you been injured through no fault of your own? Do you know your rights? Don Evans does. Do you really believe that the insurance company would disclose all information to you? Don Evans will make sure that you are fully informed. It costs nothing to discuss your case. From car wrecks to malpractice, Don Evans will make you and your family whole again. Don Evans won't ever charge unless he collects for you. Call Don for a free, no-obligation consultation at 601-969-2006.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Cork and Door Company has been providing quality residential garage and commercial overhead door products to Mississippians for over 50 years. Cork and Door is a supplier of garage door parts and services such as LiftMaster, commercial and residential door operators, as well as Clopay, sectional commercial and residential doors, Asta, commercial sheet and rolling steel doors, and Cornell, rolling steel and shutters, with many in stock for the same-day pickup. CorkandDoor.com. That's CorkandDoor.com.
Delta Farm Services, LLC. Delta Farm Services, LLC. From dirt to done, they make it easy. Find them on Facebook, it's all you need. Big job, small job, call today. They'll shape your land a better way. Delta Farm Services, LLC. The name you trust for what you need. Delta Farm Services, LLC. Delta Farm Services, LLC.
Hello, friends and neighbors. This is David Frederick. I'm here to tell you about the latest development here at Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. In an effort to always bring you the very best brands, I am proud to announce that Frederick Sales and Service is Central Mississippi's newest dealer for Skag zero-turn mowers and products. We have deals on one of the industry's best brands of zero-turn mowers, Skag. You can buy now and pay later because 0% financing is also available at Frederick's. Come see our inventory. We're here serving you for over 3 decades in Brandon since 1993.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
6:23 a.m. on a Thursday morning here on the Chip Matthews Show. Yes, Jeff Thomas checking in saying legendary rock singer is dead. That would be Bonnie Tyler. Her first hit, y'all, she was a pop hit, hot pop artist. Her first song was a country song, and then it crossed over, and it was called It's a Heartache. Nothing but a heartache to hit you when you're too late. Oh, yeah. And then everybody knows her for... and that was, and they had Waddy Wattell and Linda Ronstadt's band played on most of that album. But then and Andrew Gold and all of that. But then later on, she had another hit, Total Eclipse of the Heart, that was produced by Jim Steinman. And you're somebody going, who the hell is Jim Steinman? Well, he's the one that made Meatloaf sound like Meatloaf. He's the one that wrote those songs. Yes. And he recently passed away too. But anyway, she's been going through a lengthy illness, and she finally passed away. And look, we're all going there. There's one thing we all know that we're all going to reach. We're all going to reach death. We're all going to die. I want everybody out there to know that. I predict it. Let me go ahead. That way I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I predict that we all will die. The question is, how will we die? Will we die because we ran out of food, because the socialism politics of Benny Thompson is going to take all the food out of us? Or are we going to die from the socialist programs of Benny Thompson, which have ruined the police programs throughout the Benny Thompson district? I mean, you can ride up 51. You got towns with no police. You got towns with police, and they're getting arrested. You see the sheriffs at the other towns are all... we're all busted in a sting. You got sheriffs saying they didn't know what was going on. And these sheriffs seem to align with the politics of Benny Thompson. Now, as we look at this, y'all, Highway 51 has been there since long before 55. Okay? So when you look at Highway 51 and you think of the historical value of 51 and how it gets around, and I mean, even James Meredith walked. When he walked from Memphis to Jackson for equality, he walked down 51. And, that to anyone these days, the road, allegedly the roads are much better now, but there's some steep embankments along the way there that would make it a little bit more difficult to walk. But that's the road he walked. And now when you go up 51, it is all these cities have just died. And you go up 49, it's the same way. And then every time you turn around, you hear that this town has got 3 or 4 murders. That town's got 3 or 4 murders. You got these people running around with guns, jumping on top of cars, and it's all kids. It's all kids. The TV station blurred out all their faces. I don't think they should blur their faces out. If you're doing it because you don't know if they're a minor or not, it doesn't matter. If you're committing a crime in public, you need to all be seen. And if you got a gun in your hand and you're jumping on top of a police car, why in the world would you blur my face out? What, you don't want to find them? You don't want to catch them? It's somebody's kid. Well, it's somebody's kid, and if you can't get the parent, if you can't get the kid, you can't get the parent. You need to be holding these parents accountable. Raise your kids. Keep up with where your kids are going. Make sure your kids, when they leave the house, they got, some clothes on, a belt to pull their pants up, and they don't have a gun in their pocket. Frisk your kids every morning. Make sure your kids don't have guns. Make sure go around the outside of the house. Make sure you're not hiding guns under the edge of the house. Heck, check and make sure you have all your guns. But most of these guns they have are automatic weapons. And y'all, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, but you need to be held responsible for your kids. You're the first line of defense in police. And then when you become a mayor of a town, mayor of Gluckstadt, not Gluckstadt, mayor of Goodman, your job as the mayor is to make the town safe first. Just like when President Trump became the president, he made towns safe first. Still had to fight the Democrats. Democrats didn't want it that way. And who's a Democrat? That would be Benny Thompson. And what towns did he jumped out to try to help? None. When a town in his district, look, and I made sure he got a copy of the video. I tagged him. I put it up there. His people see it every day. I tag them every day. Because every day, Benny Thompson has a extended agreement to come sit here on this radio program and speak with me any morning he likes. But he ain't taking me up on it. He didn't take anybody up on it. And then he's constantly in the news, hating this, hating that. Y'all, he's an embarrassment to the state of Mississippi, and our Republican leadership has put him there and allowed this to grow and fester. And I hope that we pop this zit this time around and we realize, and look, we need to uncover all the corruption in the state. But these political lines that are drawn in all these cities that were racially drawn to move the needle. I mean, Canton has racially drawn lines. Madison County has racially drawn lines. I'm sure Holmes County has racially drawn lines. Yazoo City. I mean, they should be getting on to these. They're not redrawing the congressional districts, but I would think this is something that Michael Watson's office could come out if he was going to, if he had enough backbone and would say, we're going to redistrict the entire state. We're going to everybody has to redistrict every town, every county in the state. It makes no sense. We all know that everything in our state has been done along racial lines. It's just the way it is. We watch news based on racial lines. We watch everything in this state based on racial lines. We live on racial lines. Yeah. Equal rights, civil rights. Yeah. Maybe people knew what they were talking about when they were fighting them back then. Michael Watson is useless. Yep. As that thing on a bull. But anyway, we'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. Thing on a bull. But anyway, we'll be back with more right here
on the
1039 WYAB.
In the heart of rural America, we know the value of an honest day's work. While the big corporate brands focus on their stock prices, Outlaw Light is focused on you. We're an independent American brand built on resilience. We don't preach or teach, we just brew. That means a high-quality, 105-calorie light beer at a price that respects your hard-earned dollar. For the patriots, the dreamers, and the doers, America deserves a new light beer. Grab an Outlaw. It's darn good beer.
If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
Are you thinking about your next vehicle purchase? Hi, I'm Casey Ellis, owner of Ellis Autoplex in Brandon. If you've been searching for a clean diesel or half-ton truck, your search is over. At Ellis Autoplex, we specialize in the vehicles people actually want. Whether you're upgrading, buying your first truck, or looking for something the big dealerships don't have, Ellis Autoplex is worth the drive. Stop by and see why more and more people across the Southeast are choosing Little Truck City. Follow us on Facebook or shop online at ellisautoplex.com.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump back at the White House following the NATO summit and declaration that the memorandum of understanding on the ceasefire with Iran is over. ABC's Martha Raddatz says it's unclear where things stand right now as the U.S. and Iran exchanged more airstrikes overnight.
What is clear is that this war that the president said would last 4 weeks is now in its 5th month, with strikes resuming, the ceasefire declared dead, no deal on eliminating Iran's nuclear program, and Iran continuing its threats, saying America still hasn't learned that bullying and breaking promises are no longer cost-free.
Maine Senate candidate Graham Plattner officially stepping aside in the race days after published allegations of sexual assault by a former girlfriend. He denies the accusations, but new revelations have left the Democrats now searching for another name to put on the ballot. Singer Bonnie Tyler has died at the age of 75. This is ABC News.
Hi, this is Rita Jensen with Remax Connection, and I want to tell you I've lived in Florida for over 50 years. I'm a graduate of Tri-County Academy, went there the first day the doors opened. If you're thinking about putting your children into Tri-County Academy and need a place to live, then give me a call. Without a doubt, the Florida expert when it comes to real estate. So if you need a place to live, give me a call. Rita Jensen, Remax Connection. 601-720-4037 or go to my website, ritajensen.net.
Hot temps and bright sunshine means it's the perfect time to take a closer look at Pops Auto Sales in Florence. Pops Auto is loaded with Broncos, Jeeps, Yukons, Tahoes, Expeditions, F-250s, Dualies, 2500s, even a Toyota Sequoia Hybrid. Pop's buying experience will blow the top right off your next ride, which is the perfect time to let your hair blow in the wind. Get zero down with approved credit and a 3-month, 3,000-mile limited powertrain warranty available on all eligible vehicles. Pops Auto Sales, Highway 49 in Florence, and at popsautosalesllc.com.
Attention citizens, the call is going out across all of 103.9 WYAB. Each Tuesday from 9 to 10 a.m., General Bob Swap Shop summons all able-bodied listeners to buy, sell, and trade. Sign up by calling the phone line and joining the campaign where your stuff becomes the hero of the hour. No shillings, no coins, no enlistment fees of any kind to peddle your personal items. Report for duty each Tuesday at 9 a.m. right here on 103.9 WYAB. General Bob needs you and your stuff.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
6:35 a.m. on a Thursday morning here on the program. Of course, today it's going to be Mississippi weather. Hot, hot, and more hot with a chance of rain, and then hot again. Slight chance of more hot with a rising temperature of near 100 degrees. Wherever you may be today, please be drinking water. Carry water with you wherever you go. Don't stay outside too long. And enjoy the weather. You know, that's just normal Mississippi weather. And it'll be that until August. And then in August, it will be hotter. Just add ER to the end of it. But anyway, I'm looking online, and Delbert Hoseman has come out on the mobile sports betting, saying it wouldn't create a single job for Mississippians and comes with a social cost that is of increasing concern. The Senate should continue to reject this harmful legislation. Well, that's because it doesn't ever get out of committee. Thank you there, Delbert. Never mind, the lobbyists have spent tons of money with y'all, and they've now got it all to where we don't have sports betting in Mississippi as much as we do predictive market betting. You know, it's the same thing as sports betting. It's just made a different way, and it's legal in 50 states in the United States. And it's betting futures like stock, and they're doing that same way when they bet on football games. You predict who's going to win. How about that? So, and in that market, we're getting no tax dollars, no revenue to the state, and they gave all the lobbyists to carried everybody on trips and this, that, and the other, and they've got exactly what they wanted: a tax-free way to make money in Mississippi. There it is. Yeah, that's what's going on. And if they tell me that you can't be sports betting in Mississippi on these predictive markets, then you're lying, because I know plenty of people that do it. And then some people even go as far on some things that you're not supposed to do, and they get out of state. They get a VPN out of another place and make their computer think that it lives somewhere else. Yeah, it's not that hard, y'all. It's too easy. Let's see, what does it say here about Southern? Well, Mississippi grown wellness rooted in education. We believe plant-based medicine should come with clear, honest information. That's why we take the time to explain what's in each product, how it works, and how to find it. That's our people, made in Mississippi, Southern Sky Brands. No pressure, just knowledge. Well, that's interesting. Keeping up with the drug culture in Mississippi. You know, we grow pot here in the state for medical purposes only. Yet they keep finding people that are fudging on that. You know, everything that goes on in our state affects every one of us. And whatever, I mean, a lot of people don't look at it that way, but it really does. Everything affects us. You know, the socialism that we live, where we're paying, we pay the tab. You and I pay, we work, we pay taxes. So we're paying for everybody that doesn't work. And we're paying for people, we're paying for the guns that these kids have that hadn't stolen. We still pay for them because the price of everything goes up. When we don't police ourselves, and when we don't police the things that go on in our lives, we pay. When they steal something out of the Walmart, the price of everything else in the Walmart goes up. And when it goes up, we pay. We pay it, and then we pay the taxes on it too. So it's sort of like working hand in hand with the government when the government can't secure portions of the state, when they can't police the state. And you give Chip, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, we need stronger laws. And the problem is not the police. The police are overwhelmed with it. Okay, well, in Goodman, it is the police because they don't have any. But that, once again, that's leadership problems. We have leadership problems throughout the state. And people that have been in office forever and ever and ever, amen, need to go home. Amen. Because we need some more people to step up and care about their community. More people to step up and take over their community. More people to step up and say, you know, it's like this. I should simply be able to go to the city council in Canton and say, okay, y'all, the lines for this for Canton were drawn racially, and we all know that because Truly drew the lines. And what they did when they created the corrupt district that Andrew Grant ran for years was really made for Alice Scott to have. But Andrew Grant won, but he was corrupt when he won. Says he cheated in an election. Then he was convicted again of cheating in the election twice. I mean, you know, you got what you got. But the reality is this. The lines are drawn racially. They need to be redrawn in Canton. The lines are drawn racially in Madison County. When you look at Banks's district, don't tell me that that's not gerrymandering at its best. When you look at these giant districts that for Paul Griffin and Banks in Madison County, those were created for the sole purpose of making sure that it seems impossible for someone to win in those districts other than an African American. And look, African American leadership has not been all that it needed to be. Understand that. I mean, realize that. When you complain about the people shooting guns in these towns up and down the Delta and up and down Highway 51 in towns that don't have people in them, and you look at their board of aldermen and they're all black, because white folks doesn't give up. I mean, and that's the problem. Everybody has given up. The people with character have given up. The people that don't want to get involved and say, man, I just don't have time for the stress in the world. People ask me all the time, Chip, you just keep going and going and going and going on it. Well, it's because you got to keep going. I got to push some more people into politics. I got to push some people into doing it. If I can't win it, that's okay. I keep trying because America's worth saving. The lifestyle I grew up with in Mississippi is worth saving. It's what made all of us enjoy living here. And then we've allowed these weeds to take control, and they're just everywhere. And we haven't done anything to fix them. You know, we got corrupt people in office along the way, this, that, and the other, and the weeds just grew. And they grew and grew, and then their families grew and grew, and their families got left into politics as bureaucrats. So when you were listening to FBI talk the other day, they kept talking about people that were unelected that are working in the government and been there for a while. Think about that for just a second. They were sending a message that we're looking at everything here to clean up everything. Because if Mississippi can get the giant reset button, it's going to be ugly, and it's going to be ugly who all they get, because y'all, unfortunately, if there's a table full of money, everybody's got their hand out to get their share. Get it for my neighborhood, get it for this, but most importantly, get it for themselves. We don't have any politicians that want to do right for the community. Every one of them want to become super wealthy. You know, and being super wealthy doesn't get you anymore. Some of you, if you were to get rich, you got to learn a whole new lifestyle. You know, you think you got to get a new set of friends, and let's say you're in your 50s or 60s, it's hard to get new friends. And when you get new friends, you got to decide how it is going to be, this, that, and the other. You know, see, that's what's wrong with people. And when I used to look at this group, the coffee club in Canton, most of them have started to die off, but I used to look at that group of older men that came in the coffee club in Canton, and they were in their 70s and 80s and 90s, and they came from all walks of life. They grew up together, and you know, you'd have a mechanic sitting next to a banker, sitting next to a CEO of a department store that had several chains throughout the state. And you're just sitting there looking at it. You're seeing lawyers and politicians all sitting side by side, different business owners, people that just were people that worked. And everybody was treating everybody with the respect that they deserved. And plus that group of about 25 people that would come in every morning, that group also, every one of them was a veteran. They all had something in common. They went to Canton High School. They grew up in Canton. They came home to Canton, and they grew the town. And then, Lord behold, the weeds got in there. And then when people started going bad, you know, you look out for your family. So when your kids come to you and say, look, we're going to move out to the county and build a house out in the county. I can't live here in Canton. This is just falling down, you know. And they weren't going to get the big house that they had in Canton or the older house at home. And we weren't building new neighborhoods in Canton, so they just moved out. And that's what happened in many of these towns up through the Delta, up through 51, up through 49. The kids moved out for a better life, more comfortable, want the creature comforts, want air conditioning. We all want air conditioning. But, that's one of the things that wasn't available in these old houses when you really think about it. There wasn't air conditioning. You had tall ceilings and an attic fan. And look, there's some days that freeze you out of the house, but there's some days that just didn't work. They didn't get it. But, we grew up and things evolved. And, although we haven't evolved, houses cost so much money. And in Mississippi, since we don't generate a lot of money, we can't afford to, a piece of wood in Mississippi costs a lot of money to build a house. House to build a house is 4 or 5 times what it used to be, maybe even 10 times in some cases. And to build them as big as we used to build them, that's a trip that triples the bill. The world is changing constantly, and we're trying to keep up. And now we got these billions of dollars coming into the state. And unless those billions of dollars are spent properly, we're just going to have more of the same. This money will corrupt us worse than what we've done in the past when the kids took over. I was a kid. I was a part of that generation that started tearing down the world, But I had an entrepreneurial spirit. I wasted a lot of money. I wasted more money than you can imagine, and some that even if you imagined, I wasted that too. I wasted it all. But I will say this: I have lived a full life. If I die tomorrow, I only regret that I have not been able to leave a legacy on this earth that says that this place is worth saving. That's the only message that I have. The only message that I want to put out there is that Mississippi and the United States of America is worth saving. And the socialism that is out there and taking over and deeply rooted, that our government, our Republican government, has been just involved in doing it as our Democratic government of Benny Thompson. They're all complacent in this. It's all their fault. It has all happened because of their policies and their politics. The whole idea of shrinking the government is to shrink. I mean, every time they come up with a new program, you and I pay for it. The Republican government is supposed to be smaller government, but no, we pay for everything. We've got to fix everything. We got to take care of everybody. Socialism. That's what we're going to. I'm glad that by the time they get around to me, whatever job they give me in the Communist Party, it'll kill me. I'll be dead. They'll have me out there cutting the grass in the rain, in the heat, and I'll just waste away in the communist world when they tell me what my job is and what I can eat and what I can't eat and how much water I can have. How much water I can have? We might not get water at all. Got to keep those data centers running. Got to keep those data centers running. That's where it's at. I look at the data centers and I go, maybe what the big deal, maybe the Mississippi does have a long range plan for the data center buildings, because when they shrink a way to put all this knowledge down to something the size of your phone and put it on a satellite in the sky, we'll have these big buildings everywhere. Maybe those are going to become prisons for all the people that stole the billions of dollars that's coming into the state. That's secure buildings. That might be what they're planning. They might be planning that. That might be a big prison they're building up there in Canton. And under the disguise of something else. And then of course they'll fund it, and people go in there and make money. We privatize prisons, and all we ever hear is that people get out of prison or get killed in prison or this, that, and the other. Nothing's safe. You can't even go to prison and be safe. It used to, that would be where you could at least go and knew you were going to live. We'll be back with more with your Matthew Show on WYAB. It used to, that would be where you could at least go and knew you were going to live. We'll be back with more.
1039 WYAB.
Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is leveling up. A whole new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is now open at the Reservoir at Beethoven's Boardwalk in Ridgeland, right next door to Cock of the Walk. And the new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris will have all of your old favorites too, like the Acme Dynamite Balls and Garlic Knots, and the best specialty pizzas ever, like the Pig, the Sergeant Pepperoni, the Surf and Turf, and lots more. Come to the all-new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris location on the Res in Ridgeland, next door to Cock of the Walk.
Remember when you had energy after work? When your mind was sharp, your confidence was high, and getting older didn't feel like giving up? That guy's still in there. Live Better Men's Health and Wellness helps men fight fatigue, low testosterone, brain fog, and low motivation with customized treatment plans built for real life. No waiting forever, no awkward lectures, just answers, support, and a plan. Living better starts now. Live Better Men's Health. Visit livebettermen.com today.
Managing payroll, benefits, workers' comp, and HR tasks can take valuable time away from running your business. That's where People Lease comes in. From payroll processing and tax filing to employee benefits and retirement plan administration, People Lease helps simplify your back office operations while improving employee satisfaction. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Schedule your consultation today at peoplelease.com. That's peoplelease.com.
Our flag was still there. The official 250th celebration flag is available at a complete flag source on I-55 North in Jackson. It's just one way you can show your appreciation for the greatest country on earth. Flags for all occasions. International and state flags too. Flagpole construction available. You can check it out at CompleteFlags.com. A complete flag source, I-55 North in Jackson.
Need equipment that works as hard as you do? Come see me, Noah Sullivan, at H&H Chief Sales in Carthage. Thousands of you have already made the short drive to see us at H&H for the state's best deals on CM truck beds, Big Tex trailers, Wells Fargo enclosed trailers, and even rugged Candy electric utility vehicles. At H&H, our equipment is built for the farm, job site, hunting camp, or anywhere around your property. So visit me, Noah Sullivan, at H&H Chief Sales on Highway 35 North in Carthage, or online anytime at hhchiefsales.com.
This is DeMario Davis from the New Orleans Saints. As a Brandon, Mississippi native, I've seen the positive effects Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge has across the state. Help us restore broken families and fight against addiction by donating an unneeded vehicle, even if it doesn't run. Mercy House will pick it up for you. All paperwork is handled and you receive a tax deduction. Call 601-572-7296 or visit vehicledonationsms.com.
Thank you for helping us get our daddies back.
Hey, this is John with MES. That's Mississippi Energy Services. We sell, service, and install all makes and models of home and business generators. One thing that we do different than a lot of other companies is we do all the work ourselves. We don't use subcontractors. We go from the original estimate, the design, to the final product. That way we can control the quality of the job from the beginning to the end. We are online at msenergy.us.
Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
6:55 a.m., 5 minutes if you've got to be at work by 7 o'clock. Remember, coming up at 7:07, the one, the only, the Clay Edwards and his show of information. We'll call it information overload. Anyway, here's a public service message from the Chip Matthews Show. If you smoke pot at an early age, that just means when you get old and you have arthritis and your shoulders hurt and your knees hurt, your pot's not going to be effective as it would have been if you had waited and used the drugs later in life, because you built up a resistance, and that's that. That's an important message to all of you. The pot don't work if you start doing it too early, and you got to do it all your life. But anyway, how y'all doing today? It's a good day. It's a good day. It's going to be a pretty beautiful, warm Mississippi day out there. Remember, if you would like to rob and steal from people today, you don't need a permit for that, but you will if you want to go out and catch a catfish. You need a permit to buy a fish, to fish. You got to have a permit to hunt. If we would start selling permits to kill in Jackson, just think of it. Put a bag limit on it. You know, just like they do the alligators when we go kill alligators. Need a bag limit. You know, here's the fine if you go over the limit. I mean, y'all, the corruption is awful. The guns are out there, and I can't help but to think that throughout the Delta, and it's a mass farmland. When you think of a town like Goodman with these people that were running around with the guns there, and the mayor said, we stepped in and we stopped that. No, you didn't. You didn't stop anything. These kids have guns, and somewhere they're shooting the guns. It's just like Opie, when Opie with the slingshot, shot the bird and killed the bird and had to raise the babies. That's what's going on. It's going on. They could be killing whole families out in the middle of nowhere in Mississippi and stealing everything at their houses. And nobody's going to check on them because, hell, we don't have any police. Hell, we don't have any. I mean, throughout the Delta, come on, people. Get a grip. A town doesn't have a police department because, why? Oh, we can't hire nobody. You ain't trying to hire nobody. And you should be out there patrolling the streets yourself, you and your alderman, if you can't do your job. Because that is your job. Your job is to make the town safe, make your ward safe, make your area safe. And if you can't do that, then you don't need the job. You shouldn't have the job. You should be out walking, creating your own police patrols that are all citizen-based and talking to the neighbors and each alderman. I mean, you only had 90 houses in your town. You got 5 aldermen, okay? That isn't too many houses apiece to go to, you know? And you could go and check on that. What about your public works department? You got people mowing the grass? They could be out talking to people. People should be reporting to people. Today, I want everybody out there to do one thing. I want you to put this on your list, and we're going to do this every day. We're going to start off, well, maybe we should start off with doing this once a week. But let's start today. Today, the first thing you see that needs to be corrected, whether it needs to be grass cut, a stop sign straightened out, a stop light reported, somebody parking in the handicap, whatever little thing it is, I want you to pick up the phone and call your elected representative and say, look, this has got to be done. If everybody gets used to reporting something, then maybe everybody can get used to wanting to vote when they don't get their job done, and you'll get somebody else in office. Or better yet, you'll call this guy and he'll get results. Think about it. One little thing, one a day. If everybody in the sound of my voice would call one a day and say, look, we got this one problem here we need to look at. One problem a day. We got a pothole on this street. One a day. Report it to an elected official. Don't call the bureaucrats that they put in place to do it. That's an FU. They ain't going to do anything, better until they get a phone call from up top. Clad would show us next. See y'all.